Okay. Hello, 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 hello. This is Leela here, and we have Monica Lynn. Monica writes. Monica, known as the author, the speaker, the expert blog coach, and good friend of mine, good colleague, good a support, good inspiration. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me and inviting me to, on your own hill. Thank you.
Uh-huh. It's so
And
good to have you.
what's your cat's name?
Sebastian is here too. I'm sorry I didn't introduce you. I have to say hello. Sebastian is here.
Sebastian. You were like sassy too.
He's so purry. He just purring and purring. He's such a lover. Can you see? He's just like, Mom, I love this right now. Thank you for holding me. It's a work day. You don't do that usually. I
Oh,
love it.
I have a little black cat named Sassy, and yeah, so she's outside probably causing terror
Mm.
or napping
Oh,
somewhere.
oh, I love it. This one I let out on the patio. So what I want to do is today I want to tell everybody a little bit about what we're going to do, and then we'll dive in. So I what we're going to do today is talk about repurposing your content. And when we talk about content, we're going to talk about all sorts of different kinds of content, different kinds of ways, because even just 5 minutes ago, Monica and I were talking, and I asked her some questions, and she opened my mind to some even more ways to repurpose your content. Didn't you? You just did, like 5 minutes ago. So you are the repurposing content queen, I believe, right now. And there's lots of ways you can do it. So we're going to talk about that. But first, I want to just say a couple things. I want to say thank you to, of course, everybody watching, but really you, Monica, because we were going to do the show yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And I sent Monica a message. We were going to go, and I was going to be there. I was going to come on and, kind of push through, right, and be there. And I just kind of let her know that I wasn't my best self because I had learned something, which I haven't shared with Facebook yet. I've been trying to figure out where I'm going to live next. And I thought I had this great house, and it didn't come through. And last minute, but then something else came through yesterday. So it was fine. Woo! Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how it goes. So I wasn't my best self. I just didn't feel elevated to the level of energy that I wanted, that I would love to have been on a video like I am today. I feel great. And Monica said, thank you for being vulnerable. We don't have to do it today, and we can reschedule it. And I'm the type to usually want to push through, but I thought, that's nice. It's real nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you're welcome.
Yeah, so we're here today instead of yesterday. Same time, just different day. We're going to have lots of fun, and we're going to help people. You'll repurpose content. But I just want to say, like, this is what it means to be an entrepreneur in this day and age. It means to be a friend. I met Monica several years ago through another friend, Laura. And there's this sense of camaraderie, of closeness, of ups and downs, and we can still chat about it in the entrepreneurial journey, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh
So
yeah.
I would love for you, would you tell everybody a little bit about yourself? I could talk on and on and on about you, but you're an author, you're a speaker, you're a mother, you're an entrepreneur, you're a wife, right? So tell us a little bit about yourself. Will you share a little bit, like, how do you do all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so who I am, I help female entrepreneurs activate their messages through blogging and content creation and strategy. Like I just love developing content for people and showcasing them, like showcasing to them how their message can be activated, and once it's activated, they can go out and be powerful human beings in the world through content creation. And like you said, I am a mom to a beautiful, in my opinion, beautiful baby boy named Anthony. He's 20 months old. So, in other words, he's a year and a half. In layman's
Mom,
terms.
Hashtag mom talk. 20
Yep.
minutes. Like I had to calculate like that. So that's like he's walking, he's eating food. Okay.
Yeah, he is. He's talking a little bit. He has attitude. The joys of motherhood, right? And and as Leela said it, I run a business. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I'm all these little things, and I'm all the things. So how do I do it all? That's a most excellent question. Through my journey, and it's really been of late that I have just stopped making myself wrong for not achieving certain things like whenever I think they ought to be, because maybe my focus is on Anthony, or my focus is on my marriage, or my focus is on personal growth right now. And just trusting the journey and trusting myself in the journey and just being okay with it, and reminding myself all is perfect. So does that mean that I don't schedule my day? Yeah, I have a to-do list and I get most of it done. Anthony is self-reliant, like he just goes and does his own thing, and that is what makes it super easy with me and him. It's just like he takes good naps when I am in my power hour or in my productivity zone, and then whenever he wakes up for lunch, after lunch, he just kind of plays and I get to do my work. And so that's
Wow.
how I guess that's how I do it most of the time. And that's really what I do.
I love it. So what I would say from the outside looking in, I've never seen you, because I knew you before you were pregnant. I knew you during your pregnancy. I've known you since you've been a mom, right? So I've known you through, before momhood and after momhood and during it all. There's never been a time where I've seen you waver in terms of like your mission, you're driven, you're doing your thing, you're entrepreneur, you're a businesswoman. Like you're such a beautiful mother, and yet I've never seen you waver in terms of you decide I'm not going to do that anymore. You still love what you do, and it's part of actually your development as a human.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed with you. And so would you speak a little bit about content and how it's like part of like your share, because you create content, you've done a lot of putting stuff out there. It's who you are, and it's the development of you as a human. So what is it about content and developing as a human?
Yeah. So well, I know Leela knows this story, but I'll share it with you all. So when I was little, I had a speech impediment. And as you well know, as a 5-6-year-old little girl, I got tired of repeating myself or slowing down because I thought everyone should just be like knowing what I'm saying. And I really felt like that is what helped me turn to content or writing, because no one could question that. I didn't have to slow down, and people can read at their own pace, and I could articulate my message really well. And that was the counterpart to me loving content, knowing I was going to do something in content. Like I thought I was going to be a freelance writer. Now I coach entrepreneurs on how to do it themselves. And so what I really find with content is that, when we speak, it's just out there and we can't take it back. What is said is said. So
Mm-hmm.
now is, going back to the word, the written word, and really writing it from the heart. I feel that the best forms of communication for me personally has been when I'm sitting down and really writing out my heart, and maybe even having an ugly cry or whatnot. And for me, that's whenever I could be vulnerable. That's whenever I can really showcase what's really going on inside of me and articulate the messiness inside and put it out there onto like people, whether that's through a blog or through writing, just journaling, getting it all out. So for me, that is the development of content for me as a human being. It's just like it's an outlet for me to share and get things off my chest and become whole and complete, within myself again.
Uh, What do you think is the biggest challenge to people write? Like, why aren't they writing? Like, because a lot of people want to write or they want to get their message out. Like, what is the biggest, gap between, like, what is it? Why aren't people writing?
I think they believe that they're not good enough writers.
Mm.
You know, I run into a lot of people who say like, "Well, writing is not my forte." But yeah, I'm like, okay, well, if you can, if you believe that, which I don't think any of that's true, but if you believe that, then why aren't you doing video or audio? Like, why aren't you doing something else to showcase your message?
Right. Like I do.
Yes,
I do a lot of
exactly.
video. I do a ton of video,
You do.
and I resist writing, really. But I think that you tapped into something because you said it like really comes from your heart, and you can't take it back, or I mean, you can take it, you can change it. I mean,
Yeah.
and refine it. You can't take it back. You can change it, refine it.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if people don't want to sit and feel the ugly cry.
Yeah.
If that's what it is. Are they resisting the feeling of, like, because when you're writing stuff out, you start to feel it more. Are people resisting that feeling?
And I also think it's resistant of what could this do for others, to a degree, because I was talking to somebody today who had a beautiful voice. I mean, she could change so many people's lives. I mean, I saw it. And she kind of swiveled back because I think she was just that scared her, and the lack of confidence that she could actually impact people's lives from her just writing. Like, even though it was just, for her, a simple blog. And, I saw that and I'm like, no, step into your greatness. Like, so, in that conversation, I was just like, okay, I want you to play big this week. Like, that's what I really want you to do. Be in that confidence, be in that space of just be in that space of what would happen if I began touching people's lives, and what would that do for my life too. Yeah.
Okay. I love this, Monica. I love this because I can feel your passion lifting, elevating even more. So I'm actually going to take you to another level because you were at one of my events recently, and I asked everybody, like, if there's one message you could get out to the world, what would it be?
Your voice is important and crucial.
I can really feel you when you say that.
Yeah. Because like I said, this lady has such a beautiful, I mean, beautiful, like, oh my gosh, you have no idea, like, beautiful voice, beautiful message. And she just swiveled. And I'm like, no, no. that is if you want to break my heart, that's kind of how you do it.
So when there's a message inside and it's not coming out,
Yeah.
that breaks my heart. Yeah. Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
And I think sometimes people are scared of what's inside of them. I mean, I know you see that, Leela. I mean, people are, they're scared of what's inside of them and what could happen if they unleashed it.
Woof. Yeah, it is true. Because if they put that writing out there and they unleash it, something might come like woof, and that might feel
Yep.
like a lot. Woof. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Okay. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about repurposing content.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm in the middle of, I did these podcasts. I did 5 podcasts, 7 podcasts actually. And I'm having them transcribed and then written into, put into a book. So I'm going to create, go from podcast to book. There's all sorts of ways where you can take one video and put one video on Facebook, like we're doing now. We can take this video. My gal, Deanna, my tech gal on my team, she'll take my videos and she'll put them on my YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's some ways you can repurpose content. Share with us some ways, because you're really an expert at blogging, at writing books, at, emails, newsletters, all of this stuff that's more in the writer world. Would you be willing to share some ideas? Because you have a lot of ideas, and there might be people out there who have videos or podcasts even or something, and they want to create more written content.
Mm-hmm.
So could you share just like just kind of pour it on us here. What are your ideas about repurposing content?
Okay, so I'll share what I do, and then I'll go into what you can do. How about that?
Love it.
So what I do is I write a blog post. Once I have this blog post, I turn it into social media post. Once that's done, I take that content from my blog and I repurpose it into a newsletter. And then I take that same content and I voice it through a video. So I do live videos on a weekly basis on my Facebook page. And that's where I do my live videos all about my written content. But I've also taken my blog and written like a whole workbook and taken my blog, turn it into a speech. And I could definitely take a lot of my blog and turn it into a book. I've also done online courses with my blogs. So that's me. I could go on and on. Like I've done a lot with my blogs. So for you, maybe you're like, I don't have a blog yet. And that's okay. You don't need a blog to repurpose content. What Leela is doing is perfect. She has a video platform, and from there, she can repurpose that into a book. You can do the same thing with a blog, go from an audio to a blog or a video to a blog. You could even look at your speech. If you're writing a speech or you're already out there speaking, consider taking bits and pieces of your speech and turning it into other pieces of content, whether it's videos, trainings, social media content, newsletters. I mean, really it's endless. It's really what you want to do. And then because in your speeches, there's so many different angles and things you could go on little rabbit trails with, but you could take that and put it into a video. You can take that, put it into a newsletter, take that, put it into a online course or something where you are charging for it. There's so many ways to repurpose content.
I love it, girl. I see why she's the repurposing content queen.
Yes.
She's excited about it. I'm like, oh my gosh. So something I'm picking up on, I want to ask you is that it seems what we're sharing here is do the thing you like to do most, create content in the way that you like to create it the most. If you like to speak, if you like to do videos, if you like to write, and then figure out how to repurpose it in the other formats.
Yes, because I recognize not everybody wants to blog. I mean,
not everybody wants to try to figure out a video. That's not their first way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's just, like you said, taking what you like, going with the medium you love, and then just piecing it and just, dividing and conquering. That's really what you're doing.
Look at her. She's building a kingdom, a queendom on blogging. Boom. I love it. I love it. It's so good. It's so good. Okay. So there's a lot of people out there, I know, that would find this maybe a little bit challenging to do on their own and figure out, right? Like you just mentioned a whole bunch of stuff. I wrote it down real quick, like blog to social media, to newsletter, to voice video. That's one way. Yeah. Blog to workbook, blog to speech, blog to book, blog to online courses, right?
Yeah.
So not everybody's going to be able to do this all on their own because they're just not familiar with how, right? They just haven't figured it out yet. What do you how can you help people? Like, how do they get a hold of you? What can you do? Can you share a little bit about some ways that you worked with people, just to kind of give us perspective if somebody's out there and says, I have some content that I want to repurpose, or I want to get into this repurposing content thing so that I can, the whole idea, why do you want to repurpose content? More eyeballs on your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like to watch videos. Some people like to read, right? Some people like short stuff. Some people like longer stuff. Mm-hmm. So what is it that, you do for people that really is powerful in terms of helping people get out there, like, especially if they have a business and they want more eyeballs on their stuff?
Yeah. So there's a couple of different ways. So let me go back to what you were mentioning before, like how have I helped people in the past? So I helped one author and I took her book, so some of the content in her book, and I repurposed them into newsletters. So she could send out to her audience. I did that for her one. That was one of my clients. Another thing I've done is when you work with me one-on-one, we begin creating your content, or if you already have content, which is perfect. If you already have some form of content, you're already ahead of the game. So now is, how do we create a system and structure to begin repurposing it? How can we repurpose it? What's some ideas? And we will map that out. Or if you're like, hey, Monica, I have this speech or I have this book that I would like for you to repurpose, we can talk about that and I can help repurpose it for you, or talk to you about how you can repurpose it yourself. Whichever one is really the easiest. And you can find me at Monica Rice on Facebook, or you can email me, monica@monicarice.com, or you can, Leela tagged me. So go to my personal page and send me a message and let Leela know, or because, Facebook likes things to go in the other photos.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Monica Writes because she writes. Monica
Yes.
Writes, like WRITES, writes, not like writes here. Monica Writes .com or message. Find her on Facebook here. Mm-hmm. So it sounds to me like you offer an opportunity to either kind of do the repurposing, do the stuff, or if you want to teach them like the path and how to do it themselves, you'll teach them like do this, and this, that.
Yeah, and it'll be a simple system. I know it sounds overwhelming now, but really, like, one of the things that my clients keep saying about me is I have a no nonsense approach to content. So I'm going to give you that no nonsense approach on how to like make that system. And it's going to be easy. Trust me. It's not hard. But if you're like, I don't know, just let's talk and see what I can do for you.
Love it. Yeah, you do have a really no nonsense approach. Simplify things. Let's not make life hard on yourself. Kind of a way of being. So I appreciate that about you. Yeah.
No, thank you, Leela.
Yeah. All right, Chica, I really appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to share around repurposing content or anything like that you think would be valuable? Let me ask this first of all. What's the biggest if there's anything else I want to hear, but I also want to hear before we hop off the biggest mistake. Like tell people don't do this.
And when we talk, I guess as far as repurposing.
Yep.
That's a really good question. I think my biggest thing is it does not have to be perfect. None of this is perfect. And I think some people just get caught up and it has to be perfect. It has to be pretty and flawless. And it doesn't. Life isn't pretty and flawless all the time. And neither are we. So let's show a little bit of that grit and, be graceful with ourselves. And that's been a lot of I think that's what I'm really been getting for myself. And so that's what I'm going to be throwing out there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's already perfect. It's just now you to live in it.
So good. That's like a life lesson, a blog lesson, a repurposing content lesson. I'm like, hallelujah. I'm going to add something here on top of it because I think it speaks to a lot of people that might hear this, is that you don't have to do it all alone by yourself either.
Yeah, exactly.
You can hire people, whether it be Monica or you get, help her, teach your team, or if you have somebody you want to hire to do this for you regularly, Monica can teach you how, or you can show them how, something, but like you don't have to do it all alone. I think that would be good. It doesn't have to be perfect and you don't have to do it all alone. I think that would be good things to leave people with. What do you think?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. All right. Have an amazing weekend, baby. Thank you for being here. Thank you for agreeing to do this a day later, and being so sweet and being so generous with your time and sharing all this that you know about repurposing content. I love your jazziness about it. You're so amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. And Leela, I want to acknowledge you for being the incredible stand in my life. I know if you know her, then you know how much of a stand she is for people. But she's been a stand in my life and a stand for my greatness. And so, Leela, thank you for being a stand for me and always pushing me forward and always loving me where I am. I really appreciate that about you. I want to acknowledge you for that. So thank you for that. And thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Welcome. So good to see you.
Good seeing you too.
Namaste, my friend. I'll see you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.